Assistant is run by a bunch of investment bankers, and their modus operandi.
Hello, I'm Fernando Luque, editor for Morningstar in Spain, and today I have the pleasure to be with Pierre-Alexis Dumont. Pierre-Alexis is the head of equity at Groupama Asset Management. Pierre-Alexis, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Buenos dias.
Gracias. Well, in fact, you are in Madrid to talk about a very attractive idea, which is the idea of maximizing alpha with low volatility stocks. What is behind this idea, and especially, is there a specific market environment or scenario in which this type of strategy is more effective?
Clearly, we have developed this kind of approach because of clearly the low yield environment we are in. We think nowadays more than ever we need to focus on equity risk premium in order to boost the return of portfolio. This is very important. Now you earn nearly no yield adjusted of inflation on bonds, government and also corporate bonds. So clearly equity investment is becoming key. But the problem with equity is that you have volatility attached to equity. So you have to develop some solution that mitigates the volatility risk of equity. That's clearly very important for investors. And that's the reason why we think that low volatility stocks and strategy based on low volatility stock are of interest. Saying that, we think that invest only on low volatility is a partial answer to the need of the client. Why? Because clearly you have strong drawbacks in low volatility strategy. The lack of diversification. They have very easy, for example, a strong sector concentration, country concentration, and style concentration. They focus only on the past and they are not forward-looking, which can be a very significant problem, especially if market change dynamics. And they are not opportunistic enough, meaning that they do not participate enough to bull market when the market is bull. So clearly we developed in Groupama Asset Management a next generation of low volatility that tends to focus on different performance drivers. You have one performance driver which is clearly a low risk portfolio, which clearly we focus on stocks that are, I will say, that have a regular patterns of growth and regular patterns of cash flow generation. Not defensive, but regular patterns. That's the most important. And we also want to focus on maximizing the diversification on this kind of strategy. Second performance driver, it's an opportunistic portfolio that we will invest in when, I will say, stock picking and thematic picking will be strongly remunerated by the market. For example, that was the case in 2013, where you have seen a strong rally on value stock, for example, and we take we take profits from that with opportunistic portfolio we had at that time. And third, which is I will say a derivative portfolio that enables flexibility and hedging if the necessity to do so happens. So clearly, having this free performance driver enables this new kind of strategy to first be more opportunistic, more adaptive, more forward-looking, and as risk-conscious as, I will say, a standard low-volatility approach. So you have, I think, the best of all the pattern of I will say this kind of strategy, and we think that clearly in the current environment, this kind of strategy has to be in every portfolio of investor, because we are in a low growth environment, low visibility environment, and so you have to manage the risk very closely in your equity holdings.
And in summary, what are the steps that you are using to select good low volatility companies?
in fact, compared to, I will say, standard low volatility approach, clearly we have a broad-based risk approach. We do not take only into account market risk, which is the volatility. We also take into account fundamental risk. We take into account, I will say, what we call trend risk, which is roughly the operational and the market momentum of the company at the moment. And finally, we look at ESG risks, so mainly government issues, which are key long-term risks. By doing that and focusing on different types of risk, we have, I think, a better understanding of the long-term risk attached to a company. And so this kind of risk is more resilient to changes in dynamics of market, and so on the long term it should add a lot of alphas in our low risk strategy. So that's clearly the key differentiation we have compared to standard low volatility strategies that you can find on the market.
Okay, and to finish, can you give me a couple of examples of companies that meet these criteria?
Yes, clearly, for example, in Spain, we own in our low-risk strategy Amadeus. Mm-hmm. Okay, why do we like Amadeus? It's very simple. It's a niche player, a leader in an oligopolistic market with very strong barrier of entry. Very cash generative, and is developing new product that can boost its growth in the future. No problem. So you will have regularity of earnings, you will have regularity of cash flow, you will have visibility, you will have market diversification because it's clearly a worldwide company, not only invested in Eurozone. So clearly, at the end of the day, you can expect Amadeus to have better expected risk-return profile than the market as a whole. That's, for example, a company we own. On the opposite, for example, in the opportunistic strategy, it's a completely different pattern of stocks that we are looking at. For example, we own Banco de Sabadell in Spain. Why do we own Banco de Sabadell? Because we are opportunistic. So we think that AQR could be a major change for the banking system in Europe, and the bank that will profit the most from this kind of changes will be the banks that are AQR sensitive, meaning that the banks that are the more financially stressed in the market. That's the reason why we decided to invest in Banco Sabadell, because they will take profit of this kind of merger much more than standard high quality banks in the financial system. So at the end of the day, what you get in the portfolio is you get stocks with a very regular pattern, and that is really the heart of the strategy. And you get some opportunistic pockets that enable us to take profit of some opportunities that we see on the market. And so at the end of the day, you have, I will say, a good asymmetry, meaning that you participate very well to the upside. Nearly, and we have done so. For example, in 2013, we outperformed the market in a bull market, and you mitigate the downside risk because the heart of the strategy is very risk resilient and risk robust.
And really, the final question: in which fund are you implementing this strategy?
The fund is called J-Fund Total Return All Cap Europe. We call it TRAS, is small name in the company, and clearly that's a fund we launched a strategy at the end of 2012, and now for 2 years the results are we think a good proof of concept, because we managed to have higher return, lower volatility, and to mitigate downside risks, while still participating 100%, more than 100% to the upside.
Okay, perfect. Pierre-Alexis, thank you very much for this explanation on this strategy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Is run by investment bankers, and their modus operandi